Hello YouTube, welcome back to Super Lorcana World. This is the start of a little mini series that I do where I talk about all the cards in the first chapter, and I'm going by ink. We're going to talk about Steel ink today, and then we're going to talk about the rest of the inks later. I want to review each card. I want to talk to you about how good or bad I think it is. And this is coming from the mindset of a very competitive card gamer. I did well at Yu-Gi-Oh, did phenomenally well at Digimon, or still do technically, and Pokemon had a little bit of success there. And I played all the other games as well. So this is coming from a talented brain, if I just want to plug myself for a second there. So hopefully you guys find my insight valuable. I'm going to be speaking strictly from a competitive insight, not so much casual, unless it comes up, but like, can this card do well in Steel in like bigger, more popular tournaments? That's what we're going to find out today. If you want to bring your decks to locals and win, this might be the video for you. If you guys like this content, please like, comment, subscribe. We are a new channel trying to grow, and every subscription is definitely appreciated. So the very first one, Captain Hook. One drop can be used as ink. 1/2, one lore here, and Challenger +2. Very good, cheap, offensive threat to help clear smaller bodies. This card obviously gets worse as the game scales on, but to start off the game, not terrible. It's a good one drop, and can be used as ink later on. That's fine. Simba, a 7 cost that can be used for ink, a 4/6 for 2 lore, Challenger +4. It's basically taking out almost anything in attacks, which is really powerful. And then pounds during a turn this character gains evasive. That could potentially come in handy, of course. Simba is not a bad top-end card. Like, Simba will attack and defeat pretty much anything. And that's powerful. That's a good effect on a card. So if your opponent is like ramping into something big, they might not be able to until they get rid of Simba. Just straight honesty there. So that's it for Simba. Not a bad card. We have Gone 2. This card, I initially thought changed everything because this was the first floodgate introduced into Lorcana. Characters with 2 cost or less can't challenge your characters. As we learn more about the game, though, not as powerful, but is a good card. It's still very niche, and if they introduce side decks into this game, this card gets a lot better. But if not, it's at least an 8 drop that can be used for ink, and a 6/6 with 2 lore is not too bad. I feel like I'm saying that a lot. Let's talk about an actual good card here, Tinkerbell. Tinkerbell here is a loot. It's an exert to draw this card. For 1 lore, you'll never do that. But it can be used for ink, and it's a 2/4. It'll survive and it'll loot you some cards. It's fine as it is, but if we start to get cards that work well in the discard pile, Tinkerbell gets a whole lot better. So this card could be better as time goes on. Who knows? But right now, probably best Steel card so far. So far, we have a long way to go though. Now we have Kristoff, a 3 for a 3/3 that exerts for 2 lore and can be used as ink. It's okay. These vanilla cards are just like okay. Like whenever we get a vanilla card, it's just gonna be okay. Just so you guys know, it's just gonna be okay, unless for some reason the stats are nuts. But this one's okay. Frying Pan, banish this item. Chosen character can't challenge. I don't like this card at all. I don't like it. I don't think it's very niche. Again, this would be more of a sideboard card. But yeah, maybe later in the game you play it so that something, like Simba can't like beat your guys. But that's it. I don't see this card getting a lot of use in the early game. And late game, it might be too late for Frying Pan to even matter anyway. Moving on to Fire the Cannons. It costs 1, deals 2 damage. It's shock. And I will talk about Captain Hook real quick. Double the powder. When you play this, return Fire the Cannons to your hand. So it costs 4 to play. You get back your 1. If you play these cards together, good combo. If you're playing them separately, well, then this card's basically useless. And Fire the Cannons is slightly better. 2 damage is better early game. Or you can like challenge a character, a big guy, and if that's not enough to beat it, Fire the Cannons might finish it off. They can't be used for ink, and that is important. In a different video, once the game gets going, I'm going to talk about how many cards in your deck should be ink available, how many don't need to be, mana ramp and all that. Curve, we're going to cover all of it. It's going to be very competitive. But yeah, if you're playing the combo, good combo. If you're not, it's just okay. And Captain Hook's kind of useless. Beast Mirror costs 2 to play. If you have no cards on hand, draw a card. I like this card. I really do. In some instances, it's going to be a better Magic Mirror. Because you'll get to, like, you know... Okay, hypothetical universe. You draw 7 cards, right? Ink turn 1, play card turn 1. Turn 2, you draw. You have 6 cards in hand now. Play an ink, play a 2-drop. You now have 4 cards in hand. Turn 3, you draw out a 5. You ink, drop a 3-drop, you're down to 3 cards in hand. You draw for turn, you're down to 4. You have the 4 cards in hand. You play an ink, you play a card. Alright, you have 2 cards in hand. You draw for turn, you drop an ink, you drop another card. And then turn 6, you play an ink, you play a mirror. All of a sudden, you can draw cards. That's how kind of the game could work in a perfect curve scenario. And if it is, then you're not really top decking anymore. Effectively, you have 2 draws a turn for the price of 3. And that's not terrible. I think this card's okay. Maybe a little bit slow, probably, but it's not bad. It's sometimes better than Magic Mirror, but usually Magic Mirror is just better. Okay, we have Hercules. This was the first bodyguard card. You can play it exerted, and an opposing character who challenges one of your characters must choose one with bodyguard if able. So, like, it's an attack blocker. It's saying you have to attack this. And it's 3 for 3, 3 for 1 lore. I think it's kind of weak, but the ability's okay. This is an okay card, for sure. Goons is a 1-drop for 2 for 1. It's okay. Prince Eric is a slightly stronger Captain Hook. It's just okay. Smash, deal 3 damage. It can be used as ink, which is nice, but you're paying 3 to do 3 when you can just pay 1 to do 2. Like, I'm not a big fan of this card, but it will see play, and it will do things, and it probably will win games. I think Fire the Cannons will too, but yeah, it's okay. I just wish that for 3 did more. At least it can be used as ink. That's a plus. Beast. This card's really good. 5 to play, but can be used as ink. 4/4, exerts for 2. When you play as banish an item. There is very limited item removal in the first set, which makes Beast a very powerful card. I like it a lot. Mickey Mouse. This is a musketeer, but I haven't been paying attention too much to the center parts here, the attributes and whatever. When it matters, it matters, though. For Mickey Mouse here, it matters. It's a 6 cost to play, can be used as ink. A 2/7 for 2 lore, has bodyguard, it can play exerted, and a 7 booty bodyguard is powerful. All for 1. Your other musketeer characters get +1 attack. So if you're playing a musketeer deck, this is a very good card. If you are not playing a musketeer deck, this card's okay. I don't know why you wouldn't play this card if not musketeers, but this is a very powerful card for musketeers. Cerberus, a 5/6 for 1 is whatever. Maui, an 8-drop, 8/8 for 3. Big vanilla. If you can ramp into it, that's great. Odds are you probably won't, though. But if you can, props. Simba. This card costs 1 to play. It's a 1/2, and when you play this, draw and discard. This card is great. It's a fantastic 1-drop. It's Tinkerbell on play. And then once its usefulness is used up, it can either attack or it can be used to exert for lore. The card is good. It's a very good card. Tinkerbell. This card is phenomenal. So, it's a 6 that can shift for 4. For those who don't remember how this works, you can shift on a Tinkerbell, play on top of it for its shift cost, which is 4. So, like, turn 3, you can play Tinkerbell, and then turn 4, you can play this Tinkerbell on top of Tinkerbell. Alright, 4/5 for 2. Rock the Boat. When you play this character, deal 1 damage to each opposing character. So, it does some widespread damage. And then Puny Pirate during your turn. When this character banishes another character in a challenge, you may deal 2 damage to opposing... Yeah, this card's crazy good. This card is really powerful. You potentially pay for 4 turn 4, which will be good at killing some cheaper threats. And then if you challenge a character and delete it, I'm not talking Digimon language here. If you banish something through challenge, you're killing something else probably. This card's very good. I'm just going to let you guys know right now. Kronk, 6 for 6/6 for 2 is okay. Grab your sword. 5 cost, deal 2 damage to each opposing character. You know, in tandem with things like Tinkerbell, this card's really good. Oh no, even without Tinkerbell, this card's really good. Just widespread. It's nice. 2, break, banish chosen item. I think it's more of a sideboard card, but that's fine. Musketeer Tabard. For 4 cost, all for one, one for all. Whenever one of your characters with bodyguard is banished, you may draw a card. So far we've noticed a couple characters, and few more in Steel, by the way, have bodyguard. So it's a payoff to bodyguarding. Bodyguard the deck is fine. That's pretty cool. A Whole New World. Some people are saying this is the best card in Lorcana. You can play this for free. Each player discards their hand and draws 7 cards. My issue with this card, my only issue, is that if your opponent's hand is empty, this card really sucks. But if your opponent is keeping hand advantage, then it's not so much a big deal, right? And then you just draw 7 cards. This card, it has the potential to be very strong. It's all about usage, and some decks will benefit from this. Against some decks, playing this card could lose you the game. That's all you need to know. Hans, 4 for 3/3. This character quest deal damage to chosen character. There's a lot of little chip damage here and there. Hans, grab your sword, Tinkerbell. And it will quest, because there's a clause for 2, which is really nice. 2 lore counters is good. Deal damage is good. This card's good. It's a good card. We have Captain Hook, Thinking a Happy Thought. A villain. That cannot be used for mana for 5. But it's a 2/5 for 1. Shift 3 is powerful, especially when 1-drop Captain Hooks exist. Challenger 3, pretty cool. Stolen Dust. Characters with cost 3 or less can't challenge this character. This card's cool. It's not great. It's a good card. I don't think it's going to be meta defining, though I'm opening the opportunity to be wrong on this. The card will do powerful things though, and can catch you off guard if you're not careful. So I'll leave it at that. Another Simba here. 5 for 3, 5 for 2 lore. During your turn, whenever this character banishes another character in a challenge, you gain a lore. Good card. Can't use as ink, but it's okay. It potentially can do a lot of damage for sure, because you can either exert and for 2 lore, or just attack something and gain a lore. It's not very strong, but it's okay. Ransack 2 to draw 2, discard 2. Don't forget that playing Ransack minuses you a card already. So not a super big fan of this because it's not a body, but I wouldn't play this card. Bodyguard. On a 4th 2/5 Donald Duck Musketeer. That's important. During your turn, your Musketeer characters gain evasive. That could be huge, honestly. Musketeer deck looking really good. 2 for a 2/1 for 2 lore Aladdin is fine. 3 for a 4/2 for 2 Lilo is okay. We have Plasma Buster. It's an item for 3. Can't be used as lore. Quick Shot. Tap 2, pay 2, deal 1 damage to chosen character. Again, more of this widespread damage removal. You could build a widespread damage removal steel deck and probably do fine. Seriously. We have enough cards to do it. We have 5 for Starkey, a 5/4 at quest for 1. While you have a captain character in play, this card gains 1 lore. And there are captains. Have you guys read Captain Hook? So, it's okay. Unfortunately, it's not 1 for each captain. Otherwise, this card could potentially be crazy. But it's an okay card with a semi-strong payoff. Maybe you play it. The final card in Steel is Tekka. A 6 cost 5/5 that exerts for 2. Or if you banish something in a challenge, you gain 2 lore. This card is strong. This card this card will see play. For sure. All you have to do is just attack something and you gain 2 lore. It's pretty powerful. It's heartless. It's a villain. It's a good card. I think this is from Moana. Oh, literally Moana. Anyway. Yeah, so that's it for my Steel review. All in all, there are a lot of cool cards here. There's some generic good cards, potentially Whole New World, Tinkerbell, Hans, Beast is generically good. I'd argue that Smash and Fire the Cannons could be generically good. Tinkerbell's cool, Beast Mirror is cool, Gontu's okay. And then you have a lot of payoff stuff. You can do the whole Musketeer thing. And there'll be more Musketeer support in the future. That could get really good. You could do the widespread removal deck. 4 Tankers, 4 Grab Your Swords, freaking 4 Hans. You got 4 Plasma Blaster. And then, of course, because you're playing Tinkerbell, you just play Tinkerbell and you have consistency because you can draw and discard and then quest. There's a lot of good synergy here already, and it makes me excited to see what the other cards are. What do you think, guys? Let me know what your favorite card in the Steel typing is. And with that, I'm going to let you guys go. I'll see you later. Bye.